Sport TV Live, I'm Julie Grant. Into the Donna Adelson hearing we go now. Let's watch.
Good morning, Ms. Adelson. Are you capable of hearing me?
Yes, I am.
All right. In the courtroom with me this morning is your counsel and also counsel for the state. I'm just going to ask at this time for all non-parties to this hearing not to speak or interfere with the business of the court. I'll allow the attorneys to make their appearances at this time.
Sarah Catherine Dugan for the state.
Good morning, Dan Rashbaum on behalf of Mrs. Adelson.
I'll allow both parties to provide any update that they wish, but I did have some matters that I wanted to raise also during this hearing today. Ms. Dugan, concerning discovery that's been turned over to the defense, are there any new or additional matters that have yet not been turned over at this point?
Not that I know of. I know that Mr. Rashbaum had an issue receiving something via OneDrive and was going to get a copy of a hard drive today from our office, so it's ongoing.
Right. Mr. Rashbaum, with regard to your review of this discovery, obviously you need to get everything the state needs to turn over, but is your review as such where we're going to need another case management in the next few months, or do you think we're in a position to start talking trial dates?
Judge, I think we'd ask for a case management sooner, maybe in 3 weeks. I think we'll have a better idea then. The state's been working diligently with us on the discovery, but I think we'll have a better idea in the next 3 weeks or so.
Okay. Ms. Adelson, there is a matter that I am going to have to address with you as well concerning conflicts that would be related to your counsel in this representation. I'm going to need to swear you in and take some brief testimony from you. And from there, I'll continue with the attorneys. Please raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You can lower your hand. Ms. Adelson, do you understand under the Constitution you have the right to conflict-free representation?
I do.
As it relates to your current attorney, Mr. Rashbaum, representing you, you understand that he has certain duties as it relates to his prior representation with your son.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
You understand his prior duty of confidence that he must maintain under the rules of professional responsibility in some way could affect your representation.
I do, Your Honor.
And do you also understand in deciding whether or not to waive any conflict concerning this matter, you have the right to obtain independent counsel on that matter?
I do, Your Honor.
Have you been able to discuss with independent counsel whether or not you waive any conflicts as it relates to the prior representation of your son?
I have, Your Honor.
And are you in fact waiving any such conflicts?
I am, Your Honor.
There is a second issue as well as it relates to the rules of professional responsibility for attorneys. There is another prohibition within them that deals with the matter of an attorney possibly being a witness in a case. I do not know if the state would seek to call your attorney as a witness for any matter. However, you understand an attorney cannot be both advocate and witness in the same case.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Do you understand as well if the state attempted to call your attorney for any reason that could materially affect your defense?
I understand.
Do you also understand you have the right to obtain independent counsel to assist you in making the decision as to whether or not you wish to waive this conflict, or even potential of conflict, I should say?
Yes, I'm aware of that, Your Honor.
And do you waive this potential conflict as well?
I do.
Mr. Rashbaum, do you wish there to be any further inquiry as it would pertain to Lazarley versus state?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Adelson. That will conclude all testimony that I will need from you today. Does the defense have anything that it wishes to raise this morning?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Dugan, does the state have anything that it wishes to raise?
No, sir.
Very well. So we can settle on another date for case management coming up. You were asking for 3 weeks from now, Mr. Rashbaum?
That would be great, Your Honor, if you could accommodate that. Or somewhere near that.
Right. I have case management coming up again on February 12th. However, that's my normal case management day. Is this something that we're going to be able to accomplish within the normal time confines, or we're going to need a carved out date? Ms. Dugan?
I don't expect any issue would take more than 10 or 15 minutes, so I think a regular court day would be fine.
Very well. February 12th at 2:30 in the afternoon. We will schedule the next case management date. Ms. Adelson, once again, you will appear by Zoom, but your counsel will be in the courtroom and you will be able to hear him, obviously, in preparation for any court date. Either him or Mr. Morris can visit with you and discuss all pertinent matters. One question that I did have for the defense as well, is there going to be a waiver of speedy trial, or do we know when the 175th day is going to be if we need to start thinking about calendaring a trial?
There's not going to be a waiver yet, Your Honor. I don't know when the 175th day is, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. We're working diligently with the state to try to figure out a trial date.
Right. Ms. Dugan, do you wish to be heard as to that issue?
No, sir.
Very well. With that being said, that covers everything I believe we need to hit for today's hearing. Ms. Adelson, your counsel will be in touch with you to discuss matters before February. I will see you then. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks, Chair.
All right, the Honorable Stephen Everett concluding that hearing. Pretty quick one. We're going to see her again on February the 12th, but some big things coming out of this. Okay, I want to bring back in my guest attorney, Ted Spalding, to talk about this. So we've got a couple conflicts here. Conflict number one is just the fact that she's got the same lawyer that her son had at trial, Daniel Rashbaum. Now he's done representing Charlie. A different appellate attorney has Charlie's case now, but we saw the judge here going through that colloquy with her, making sure she knows what she's getting into and having this representation. She consulted independent counsel on it, so not Daniel Rashbaum, another attorney to help her make that informed decision. Ted, your thoughts on whether this is a wise decision to have that same attorney represent her?
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would assume there's nothing there. Mm-hmm. So for the viewers, that was probably a procedural thing that you got to go through every time you have the same attorney. So you want to assume there's nothing there. Why? Because most defense attorneys, you're trained. You don't ask your client, did you do it, did you not do it, those sorts of things for almost this exact reason, not representing two co-defendants, if you will. So you got to assume the lawyer doesn't know anything that would either harm or help her, that he learned from his prior representation that he can't speak to. But what if, right? And then you heard the second one, which is, if your lawyer becomes a witness. Now, you assume that's not going to happen. That'd be super, super rare in a criminal matter. We see it a lot in civil. I had it way back in the day in a probate case.
Did you?
Where the first attorney who wrote the will that was being contested was the attorney representing the person, and we had to conflict him out. So this does come up a lot, but more so in the civil than you do in the criminal realm, because obviously stakes are way higher. Attorneys are prepared for this type of thing. They prep their clients and those sorts of things. So assuming she got the representation separately to go through the possibilities, it's her decision to make. This is the judge making sure on the record, again, the whole point being, we don't want to have a potential conviction here that then gets overturned for a simple technicality because we didn't do something properly.
Right.
Which is get it on the record that
Right,
she was
Ted.
given all of her rights, making sure she has properly waived any sort of conflict that could come up.
Right, so a conflict does exist, yes. but it's one that she has the power to waive on the record, as we saw done today before the court. The court is satisfied that it's a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver, so that she wants him. To the second point about Daniel Rashbaum potentially being a witness, I think I may know what this is about, Ted. And earlier, for any of our wonderful courties who were watching opening statements this morning, we had Joel Waldman on the show. He has a podcast, he's a journalist, and he interviewed Daniel Rashbaum on his show, Surviving the Survivor. And he asked him about one of the jail phone calls between Charlie and Donna, where it appears that they're talking about maybe plans to leave, if I remember correctly, and the name Dan keeps coming up. And Joel had said to me when I was on his show, could Rashbaum be in trouble for this? I said, well, it depends on what, if anything, he knew about any plans for her to leave. So there's an insinuation that there could be, you know, an inquiry into whether there was any justice obstructed. And I'm certainly not saying there was any wrongdoing. We don't know what he knew. Ted, I can tell by the look on your face, like, if he did know something, this is bad, huh? And if the state calls him, this gets real ugly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets real ugly for him, certainly. And remember what we talked about earlier, catching what she said. It's now on video where the arresting officer's taking her phone, and she says, my attorney said you can't take my phone. Now, I assume that was a general conversation of, hey, there may be a warrant out for you at some point in the future. You know, we have word that they're looking into it. Be careful, do this. But now you're telling me there's some other things that maybe this attorney knew in advance.
And I think this is what that touched on.